Hi there. Good afternoon and welcome to today's session. My name is Nana Agyemang. I'm Barclays Eagle Labs Proposition Delivery Manager, and I'm joined today by Rob Wilson from the Open University. Um, Before we get started, I'd like to quickly signpost some of the initiatives that we'll be talking about today, being the wider Eagle Labs or in proposition of support, as well as Open University and the way that they support entrepreneurs and link into us directly. Um, Today, we've asked Rob Wilson from Open University to join us to provide some tips and tricks on entrepreneurship, especially for those that are moving from the ideation phase through to startup. The topics discussed today are an overview of options for you to think about to help you with your own independent research and business decisions, so aren't intended as recommendations or specific advice. Remember, as well as your business having its own individual circumstances, the statements and views expressed today may not be applicable for your specific business. If you found yourself with us today via YouTube, you can also find a link to VVox in the description below that you'll be able to use to join us in the chat and ask any questions that you may have. However, I think that's enough from me for today, so I'm going to hand over to Rob from the Open University to introduce himself and dive into today's session. Thank you.
Thanks, Nana. Hi, everyone. My name's Rob, and I've been working for the Open University for about the past 8 9 years. And for the majority of that time, working with OU students to help explore their business ideas. Uh, a lot of people don't think of the OU as being the natural place to go and look for business support because we're online learning. People are studying for their degrees around a job that they already have in most cases. But for many of our students, they're exploring some sort of entrepreneurial ambition or idea, and alongside their studies, thinking about how can I turn this into a business? What if I created a small side hustle right now and developed that during my degree? Or what if I just put down the job that I'm doing right now and started a whole new business and went 100% with it? And so the work that I do through Open Business Creators helps students explore these possibilities and pick up new skills, and in some cases, some funding for that. So the OU has this vision for its Open Business Creators to work in partnership to create the UK's largest and most inclusive entrepreneurial learning community. Uh, the largest bit, not that important to me, but the most inclusive bit is super important to us. We really want to help as many of our students as possible develop the skills necessary to run a successful business. And increasingly, we'll start supporting people who are not OU students because we are truly aiming to be open as possible. So we know that this year, in 2025, nearly half of the adults in the UK are considering starting a business, but majority of people don't feel they have the skills to start and manage a business. So what can we do about this? The OU has a rich history in helping people develop skills online, and so we're turning our attention to helping people develop the skills to run a business. At the same time, we also know that there are pretty shocking inequalities in the opportunity to start and grow a business in the UK. We know that females receive less investment in their ventures. Businesses founded by ethnic minority founders are rejected at nearly twice the rate of applications from white led businesses. And when you look at the four nations in the UK, there's geographic disparity in the amount of businesses started up per person. The OU is uniquely placed to kind of tackle some of these troubling statistics. So, over the next 10 years, we're aiming to build a million strong network of UK entrepreneurs. That's a pretty big, ambitious goal, but we think we can do it. And we're going to do that by working with national and regional partners. So, Barclays, of course, is one of those, but we're also working with people in Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland to create this UK wide program to find and help people develop their business ideas. As we help businesses grow, we'll provide access to mentorship and further resources and routes to investment. And while we also will continue to support our students and our recent alumni, we want to have more widely available funding and support for people with disabilities from lower socioeconomic backgrounds, for female founders, and for neurodivergent individuals. The OU is well placed to do this too because we have the largest student body in the UK, um, and our skills training helps us reach anyone, anywhere. And we're also the only university with a presence in all four nations of the UK. So we can dip into partnerships with place based entrepreneurial support structures in, let's say, Edinburgh or Glasgow or Cardiff, and support our students and a wider group of entrepreneurs there. And of course, this is all mission aligned for the OU. The OU is a charity, and its mission is to be open to people, places, methods, and ideas. And it's that final one that is so important to us. How can we help people with strong business ideas be a success? And how can we help the underserved in our country find the success they're looking for? So, how are we going to do all this? What I've said is kind of all this grand ambition and vision stuff. So, how are we going to do this? Well, we're starting off with offering a huge range of free learning content and online business builder tools, and also funding opportunities. So, we have our Open Business Creators Fund currently open to students. In the autumn, we'll have another fund that is open more widely um, to, to non OU students as well. But we have this range of free learning content, which I'll show you in a moment. And we're developing, to follow on from that, a virtual incubator program with our business school that will support businesses who are passionate about embedding sustainability in their business, and not just environmental sustainability, but also social sustainability and financial sustainability. So if you're just starting out in business and thinking about how can I make this last? How can I make this what is going to provide for me and my family for the next 5, 10, 15, 30 years? You need to embed sustainability into everything that you do, socially, financially, environmentally. And so this virtual incubator program will help to embed that. And then also we'll look to do this through partnership as well with places that I've mentioned, like accelerator programs in different parts of the country. And then finally, once we are supporting a kind of critical mass of businesses and we have identified those that are in need of mentorship from seasoned entrepreneurs and those that are kind of destined for investment, we will help them get ready for that investment and help them access investment routes through our growth pillar. But for now, as I said, the majority of our support is available through um, free online learning, sessions like this with our partners, Barclays, um, and Open Learn courses, which are really good resource, particularly this one that's called Entrepreneurship from Ideas to Reality. And I'll just share my screen now and kind of show you, thanks, James, what we're able to offer right now. You look at our current resources, and we'll put a link to this in the chat. So we have our Open Business Creators Fund now. We have a batched course on entrepreneurship. We have accelerator related resources. We have resources for entrepreneurs with dyslexia, thinking about how differences in how the brain functions and how this can be a superpower really for entrepreneurs. Then we also have some fantastic resources for people who are makers or crafts or artists and are selling their products at markets. This Make It at the Market toolkit is really great for if you've got a hobby and you're trying to turn it into a business. And exploring the resources here are really helpful. Uh, and then last but not least, Barclays Eagle Labs Academy. We really feel that alongside what you can learn from the OU, the support available from Barclays online and in person is fantastic. And so we want Nana to go ahead and tell us about the support available in Barclays Eagle Labs Academy. Can't hear you, Nana.
Apologies there. No,
There we
thank
go.
you, Rob, for that overview. And it's
Sure.
fantastic to be working closely with Open University on this amazing initiative. Um, I'm here today to talk to you all again about Barclays Eagle Labs. Open University are one of our fantastic partners and are a real innovator within the entrepreneurial landscape. So what you can see on screen is a platform known as the Barclays Eagle Labs Academy, recently rebranded to become the Entrepreneurs Academy. And essentially, it's a free learning resource through which we provide on-demand learning content from everything around how to start a business effectively, all the way through to scaling and growing, whether that be international expansion, receiving investment, etc. And as the banner suggests, this platform is designed to enable you to learn your way. So, in short, the Eagle Labs Academy is a platform through which we provide lessons on how to start in business effectively, how to develop an effective product, how to raise capital, as you can see on screen there, all the way through to scaling and growth. And a number of these different lessons have been designed with our partners as well across the entrepreneurial ecosystem to make sure that the content is basically hard hitting, easy to digest. And again, even if you're new to entrepreneurship or a seasoned vet in regards to entrepreneurship, this platform is in place to make sure that you have all of the necessary resources that you need to be able to succeed as an entrepreneur with the direct support of Barclays Eagle Labs. Content is delivered in a mixture of written and visual learning content. So just for example, I've gone into a module around an introduction to sales, and that then breaks down into specific lessons. So for example, and again, I'm going to skip through a couple of these just so you get a bit of an overview. If you were to register to this platform, all you literally need is an email address and password. So the 4 questions we ask for are your first name, surname, email address, and password. And then with that, you have access to a raft of different entrepreneurial content. So in regards to the modules and the look and feel of them, you essentially will have learning outcomes provided to you at the beginning of each lesson, which highlight essentially in bullet point format, in a skimmable format, the key takeaways that you need to be able to accept, that you should be able to pick up from the lesson. In this particular example, we've completed this module in the visual format, so you will be able to listen to one of our key delivery partners, Codebase, that support us with a number of programs known as our bridge programs, where we work with established corporates and partner them up with startups and scale ups to support them on their innovation journey. And we have a variety of seasoned entrepreneurs that give you direct hints and tips in regards to the best way to grow a business, with key takeaways also. An important factor that contributes towards the continuous development and improvement of this platform is we also have a net promoter score in the form of feedback. So you're able to then as well give us any sort of direct feedback in regards to how you found the content, or any recommendations that you'd like to make for future content that we should have on there that might be beneficial to yourself. Now, when you look at accessing new markets, for example, you also then have contents, for example, around how to get your first sale, which again, is a very important. I mean, at the end of the day, entrepreneurship is an avenue through which people enter to change their financial circumstances. Rob spoke earlier about the fact that female run businesses are often underfunded, and we at Barclays are extremely proud of the fact that we work quite closely with a variety of innovators within the ecosystem that are about creating equal opportunity for founders, regardless of gender, ethnicity, sexual orientation, disability status, etc. And at the end of the day, if, for example, in that case and scenario, their female businesses were to scale and grow at the same rate as male-led organizations, it would be revolutionary for the economy. We basically, again, take strong note of that, and through the efforts of my wider team have developed a really detailed overview of, again, how to get your first sale all the way through to, again, scaling internationally, as you would have seen on the previous slide. So I went through this slide earlier, and I just want to also grab the content that we've got around the sales strategy. Now, when developing a sales strategy, apologies, I'm wrong. Yes, apologies, sorry. Sales metrics. When I'm developing effective sales metrics, it's important to also consider patterns that you'll spot. It's also important to create dashboards, make sure that you're able to ensure metrics are easy and easy for you to read, as well as when you're going out to people to potentially fund or invest in your business, whether that be through angel investors, venture capitalists, grants as well. It's important to consider the fact that you want your business to be your business content to be easily transferable and easy to digest. And that leads me into the different stages of the funnel. As the content reads, there's 4 key stages to the business funnel, which are first and foremost your awareness stage. So the awareness stage essentially is all about making sure that potential customers are aware of your business and products. And then we go into details about how you can raise awareness. The interest stage, essentially to make sure that once customers are aware of your product, that they actually are really bought into your proposition. And again, there's a variety of hints and tips here in regards to how to generate interest in both a business to business relationship as well as a business to customer relationship. We then also have the desire and decision stage. So rather than just people thinking that your business is a good idea and potentially being interested in it, the steps towards building brand empathy and also making sure that your proposition is a long-standing and branding years to come, that people really build that brand empathy with and decide that out of all of your competitors that they want to essentially focus on what you have to offer and choose you as a provider. And that could be if you're providing a service, if you have a particular product, because we're also very conscious of the fact that currently it's a tough macroeconomic climate out there for founders. And so it's important to make sure that business decisions that you make are practical and in all actuality don't put you in any sort of financial detriment as a founder. And finally, as well, the action stage as well, which essentially allows you to hone in on the actual acts of the sale. All of that content on there is directly available to anyone across the UK, even if you don't necessarily have a business account or a business idea as of yet, but essentially are just more in that exploratory phase, all the way through to if you're an organization that's actually generating early stage sales or earlier on the funnel looking to scale, and of course content around what to do after a sale. All of that information, again, is accessible via the Eagle Labs Academy, and the Academy platform that I'm on now will also give you a track record of everything that you've completed, any learning that's in progress, as well as any recommended learning on top of that. A great thing about the Eagle Labs platform overall is that, again, we're able to co-brand with key delivery partners, and Open University, Rob and his team are a fantastic example of that, where we're able to signpost all of this fantastic learning content directly through the Open University platform to yourselves, as students, and again, even non-students, with this platform as well, the Barclays Eagle Labs Academy, you don't need to bank with Barclays to access this tool. Neither do you need to have really any affiliation with us. We are the Beyond Banking arm of business banking and are there really and truly to make sure that entrepreneurship readiness content is available and easily accessible to you, regardless of the journey that you're on. Across our wider suite of activity, we also support via our different delivery partners such as Plexel here, Capital Enterprise, Accelerate Her, Foundervine, Codebase, different partners that we work with to grow and scale businesses to deliver free mentorship. So free in addition to access to accelerator programs, thought leadership content in the form of insights like this website here, as well as thought leadership reports, and all of that content is provided free of charge with no requirement to bank with Barclays unless you choose to do so. In short, Eagle Labs are here to make sure that becoming an entrepreneur is an easy and accessible thing for anyone, regardless of any barriers that you may face more widely. Thanks, James. If you feel free to take that off screen now, if that's all right. But we are here basically to make sure that you are supported through your journey and know that you have the support of both ourselves here at Barclays Eagle Labs as well as the Open University. So I'll pause there. I've seen a question come through from James. Are there any eligibility requirements to join the Eagle Labs Academy? No specific eligibility requirements. You literally just need to have access to your email, and literally you'll be able to register with us with a first name, surname, email address, and password. Can businesses outside of the UK participate or benefit from the Academy's resources? Because of the fact that we're specifically a part of Barclays UK, you need to be a UK resident. So the hints and tips and the lessons on the content on the platform are made specifically for UK-based entrepreneurs. However, I'm sure that the content on there, if you do choose to learn it, will then, in all honesty, give you a good baseline for any sort of future business development that you wish to go into. Rob, I don't know if there's any points you want us to come in regards to OU and the support, if that goes beyond the UK or.
Yeah, all of our content is totally available to anyone anywhere, but most of it is written with a UK entrepreneurial context in mind. But you're right, some of the fundamentals there are very widely applicable.
Okay. You want to say the next question? How Eagle or you can start a business, help a business that's already launched but struggling to scale? Yeah, I'll have to start on it. So in regards to supporting a business that's already launched and struggling to scale, we've developed a suite of programs to support right from ideation all the way through to scale. So I'll take one of our partners, such as Plexel, for example. Plexel are a innovation hub based in East London and Stratford, and we've worked with them to develop a suite of programs in addition to the Eagle Labs Academy that I just showed on screen that will support you from one of our initial startup programs called the Product Builder, which is basically an ideation to MVP type proposition, which then will allow you, should you choose to continue that learning journey, to ladder up into the product growth accelerator program that we also offer with Plexel, which is again to support businesses that are going through that transition phase from that initial startup journey, not quite a scale up yet, but making the transition into that type of territory. And finally, we also have a third offering, which is a scale up program, which specifically supports businesses that are demonstrating that consistent growth year on year, looking to then potentially go into international markets to get some of their later stage series funding rounds also. So we have a continuum of support to help you with that in terms of our programs. We also have a suite of mentors, hundreds of mentors across our different partners that provide free one-to-one sessions as well, that will be able to give you insights in regards to their own areas of speciality. So you can actually book in one-to-one sessions by visiting our Eagle Labs website and have direct access to mentors as well that are specialized in various different subsectors, whether that be fintech, agri-tech, health tech, etc. And you'll be able to book in direct sessions with them at no cost to yourself. Let me see, is there any part of Is there any information on raising initial capital? Yes. So we have a raising capital module on the Eagle Labs Academy platform, and also have a funding readiness proposition as well, which is another one of our programs run 4 times a year with Capital Enterprise. Rob, is there any points you wanted to comment on on those, or you want me to
For
continue?
initial capital, what we're doing right now for our OU students is that very initial grant funding for people turning an idea into reality. As far as information available, we definitely point people to the Barclays Eagle Labs Academy on exploring what it means to raise serious capital, and also to other partners like Funding Hero if you're looking to make a fundraising plan. Like, this is what it means to raise capital.
And then, so the question in regards to a particular size of business, we support businesses across the funnel. So you could literally be non-revenue generating. So you said, for instance, with a business that would effectively be born global, receive assistance from yourselves. So if you, again, we have a UK SKU specifically on on businesses that we support. So if you're a UK-based business looking to expand internationally, we can most definitely support you in regards to your growth journey. But on the Eagle Lab side of things specifically, we focus specifically on startups and scale ups, also with support for individuals at ideation. Should your business then grow at later stages to become an SME or a corporate size entity through the wider Barclays group, we're able to support you in regards to getting there. Can you give advice on where to get funding, especially if the business is starting up soon? So I know Rob just touched on a few. We work with a number of innovative partners as well, from Foundervine, Plexel, Capital Enterprise, Codebase. Now, all of these organizations support us in delivering accelerator programs like I've been talking over, that culminate in a demo day. Now, in those events, we basically give you the access to a network of investors also. So Eagle Labs are essentially a connectivity piece that Barclays has developed to give you access to mentors, access to investors, programs, etc., to help you propel. And so we basically are able to support founders by putting you in rooms where these key ecosystem players, investors and innovators are also present, to then also allow you that opportunity to connect and develop and grow your proposition also. So think of us as a connectivity piece, making sure that you have the optimal networks and the platforms and also the knowledge that you need to succeed. I have started my activity.
Can I weigh in on the last few questions? Where to get funding if the business is starting soon, and then also, despite people being interested in the business, no luck in getting funds. I would say, don't neglect the idea of crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is a really, really powerful tool that, if your idea is resonating with people, they will help you make it possible. And there's different ways of drumming up interest in that and getting the support that you need to kind of take things further. But look at resources on the crowdfunding process if you need a quicker, smaller amount of cash to kind of continue to prove your idea.
Let's see. I've started my business activity and I had to slow down because I'm the sole service provider of my idea. Which program do you recommend? Also, despite people being interested in the business, I have no luck in getting funds. What can I do? The first thing I would 100% recommend is that you check out our mentoring proposition and our full suite of mentors that are able to support you in getting a sale from point A to point B. In regards to being the sole service provider of your idea, the Eagle Lab suite of activity actually supports you with building an effective team around you, because of the fact that it's important to get specialists that may actually specifically be smarter than you in a particular element of entrepreneurship, depending on the various industries that you might be in. But it's important to make sure that when building the team effectively, you also have a clear-cut view of exactly the type of experience that you need and the support that you're going to aim to garner. And we, again, through the platform I shared earlier, the Academy platform, as well as as well as actually one of our very, very early stage programs, our product builder, support you in regards to getting the an effective team around you that will help to alleviate some of that pressure as well. Conscious as well, in terms of generating interest. And we spoke earlier about the business funnel as well. It's important to understand that your proposition, whether that be the exact service that you're looking to launch, or the actual product, the tool that you're delivering, is knit tight. So you need to basically even look at potential focus groups, identify opportunities to get feedback on your initial prototype or service from potential users, people that essentially might work in similar industries to you that have already grown and scaled successfully, maybe even in some cases exited, and you can again gain access to all of that as well through our mentorship proposition. So I definitely recommend that. Rob, I don't know if there was any points you wanted to chime in on that, or
No, I just echo what you said.
thank you. Oh, good. Noted. Cool. I mean, unless there are any more questions, I think we've pretty much covered the majority of what we wanted to go through. However, the Barclays Eagle Labs and Open University collaboration is going to be something that's going to remain ongoing. Whether that will take shape in the form of more virtual events in the future, I'm sure, as well as some in-person in-person events. And then a variety of different ways that we can collaboratively innovate and continue to drive entrepreneurship for young students as well as individuals across their various stages of their learning journey. As a reminder, through Barclays Eagle Labs, which is an entirely free resource where you don't have to necessarily bank with Barclays to access any of our resources, we have 42 physical sites across the UK. So I'm conscious that, the students of Open University are nationwide, but we've got sites all the way through from Glasgow down here in London, where I am, to the Midlands and Birmingham, Manchester, up in Newcastle, all the way into Wales also, and Northern Ireland. So if you're a student here thinking about how you can get some in-person support, maybe even visit one of our specialists in person, one of our ecosystem managers, please feel free to look up our Barclays Eagle Labs website. You'll be able to find the locations for all of our key sites there. As mentioned, we also provide a suite of options in regards to access to mentors, access to accelerator programs, learning content in the form of the Academy of Thought Leadership reports also. And again, our friends at Open University remain innovative and also very much aligned to the journey that we're on. So I can only see the collaboration becoming even more tight-knit and continuing further in the future. Rob, I don't know if there's any points you want to mention before we close up.
No, thanks. Thanks, Nana. It was great. I think just a final bit of advice for anyone really at that ideation space: just start talking to people about your idea. If that's something that you're nervous about, speak to a friend or a family member first. As soon as you start talking about your idea, you're creating some level of accountability with yourself to make some progress with it. And that's also the first step in the sales funnel that Nana talked about, creating awareness. Um, it's really powerful how just starting to talk about what your idea is gets that early feedback that's so vital and can help you kind of get the momentum started to start building your business. So write it down in person, make a note on your phone, um, use some fancy tool or software, or create a wall of post-it notes like you're solving a mystery, but just make some action to get yourself started on your business, and then explore the Eagle Labs, explore the OU resources, and start to make an ordered list of the skills that you need to develop, the content that you need to read, consume, watch, whatever, and then you're really making some progress.
Thanks for those great tips. It's been great
Sure.
hosting this call with you, and thank you for everyone that's joined. Also, we really appreciate you taking the time out to listen through to all of the bits that we've spoken about today. And please remember, you can access both the Eagle Lab suite and the Open University suite of content and with no charge to yourselves as well. And there definitely will be a lot more to come from both of our teams in the very near future. Thanks for today.